Was? Bro, deswegen alles, das sagt alles so einmal so übelst laggy das? Mach mal nicht so ein.
Lumos.
Lumos my ass.
What do you think you're doing here, humans?
Humans? Hey, warum hat denn der Human gesagt? Hat er einfach gesagt, ich meine Muggel? Cringe. Warum sieht die Burg so komisch aus?
Welcome to Hogwarts Legacy. You're a new student at the famed School of Witchcraft and Wizardry with a unique ability to manipulate, as you may be the one that decides the fate of the entire wizarding world.
Gleich ein ganzes Schicksal.
But before you can study magic and begin to solve these mysteries, you must create the witch or wizard you want to
Oh, Character Creation, mashallah.
When you arrive at Hogwarts, you will be sorted into one of the 4 Hogwarts houses:
Zufällig oder?
Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin.
Eben
After you
auswählen.
settle into your dormitory, you will meet up with your housemates in the common room. You will then need to attend classes, and you do have some catching up to do.
Muss in die
as you're
Schule gehen?
starting Hogwarts late as a 5th year.
So you are the new student.
You'll begin your studies attending charms, defense against the dark arts, herbology, and potions classes, to name a few.
Oh, hello.
Hey, yo.
Class. Please welcome the newest rose in our garden.
Shall we begin? Welcome to year 5 of charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work, but I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge.
The best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two.
Wer ist denn die Alte dahinter? Was ist das für ein Potter, für ein Malfoy-ähnlicher Bastard?
You may begin.
Oh. Hey, I'm son. Hey, yo.
Not bad for a beginner.
Natürlich.
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school.
Here, you'll meet your professors and learn to cast spells.
Das ist ein random Professor, oder kann man da irgendwelche ausfinden?
Brew potions and more. In between classes, you'll be able to explore the castle famous for its secrets, enchantments, and mysteries. You'll discover dungeons and secret passageways,
Ganze Fabrik.
as well as challenging puzzles that will require magical skill
Accio.
and a clever mind to solve. You may even find yourself in iconic locations you've never been able to explore before.
Ui, damn, son.
It's the late 1800s, so while the common rooms and classes may be familiar, most of your professors will not be. However, you may recognize a few faces.
All in good fun. Once Sir Patrick lets me join the Headless Hunt, I'll be right there with them. This offering is sure to win them over.
Don't forget why I'm here, sir.
You'll come to know this eclectic group of
Ich zweifle, dass die in den 18. Jahrhundert oder so solche Haare hatten, aber ey, come on, ne?
designed to help you catch up with the other 5th years at your own speed.
Lumos.
Damn, son.
Opportunities for adventure abound in the area surrounding Hogwarts. The magical abilities you learn to master through your schoolwork will soon become tested as you unravel a dangerous mystery.
Oh, das
by
sind
working
keine
alongside
60
the
FPS,
accomplished
Diggi, holy shit.
enigmatic Professor Fig to try and discover if the rumors of a mounting goblin rebellion hold any weight, and if the safety of Hogwarts lies in the balance.
I have opinions differ as to how great a threat he really is.
Damn, Alter. Bergi Zwergus. Damn, er hat die Macht.
Ranrock's loyalists are capable of so much more than people realize.
The wizarding world of this era is fraught with dangers. Creatures corrupted by a magical force.
Oh, okay.
Powerful goblins. and
Powerful
sinister
goblins.
witches and wizards, all willing to fight, even kill, to achieve their own goals. In fact, there's an uneasy alliance between the goblins
Sieht ein
and dark
bisschen holprig aus.
To the child when they came to Hogsmeade, that all you needed was a distraction. I gave you a distraction.
I just watched a student take down your distraction. Who is this child? Do you not telling me?
But perhaps you shouldn't involve yourself with that just yet.
Let's go.
Hey, yo. Avada Kedavra?
Possess unique defensive and offensive abilities, including blasting curses, stunning spells.
Ja, aber derjenige, der spielt, ist dann ja unbedingt der Beste, wa?
While some may attack directly, others might enchant and incapacitate you. Mastery of the shield charm allows you to deflect ranged spells and direct weapon strikes. Counterattack with powerful stunning charms, allowing you to follow up with extended spell combinations.
Ah ja.
Students who become particularly adept at spellcasting will find many ways to exploit their enemy's weakness.
Unendlich Mana oder was? Damn.
Slam with Descendo. Roast with Incendio. Devastate your enemies using various finishes. You can even use the mysterious, powerful magic your professors do not understand to obliterate your
Ui, jo, einfach Blitze snacken. Moin, Luke.
Mixing and matching dozens of spells will let you define your combat style. On your path to become the ultimate duelist.
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time.
In addition to classes and spells, you'll have access to a deep set of upgrades, talents, and skills
Oh
to aid
no.
your progression as a wizard. Complete challenges throughout
In these
the world
upgrades.
to earn experience.
Auch kaufbar.
Level up your abilities by choosing talents to upgrade your spells, plants, and potions to increase their power.
so das.
Decide which talents best fit your playstyle to allow you to focus on your favorite types of magic. You can also loot, buy, or craft your own magical gear.
Ah ja.
Which will increase your offensive and defensive capabilities in combat. Gear can be upgraded and specialized to allow for greater abilities
Okay.
for your chosen playstyle.
Use a strong
Voll bei dir, Dennis.
motion when cutting your ingredients.
Spells are not the only tools at your disposal in combat. As you hone your wand skills, you can continue to further your magical education at Hogwarts, progressing your development as a witch or wizard. Brew potions that can increase your power when you need a boost. Grow and deploy magical plants to mob the battlefield and keep your enemies at bay.
Da geht ein bisschen was, wa?
Deadly mandrake seedlings to incapacitate unsuspecting enemies. In Beasts class, you will learn about a variety of magical beasts you might
Ah, sag mir nicht, Luke, dass du auch kein Interesse an Harry Potter hast.
surrounding the castle
Hey.
and its grounds.
The goal of today is to remind all of you how to maneuver on a broomstick safely.
Learning and mastering broomflight is highly recommended so that you may travel around the world more quickly.
I want you to do my
Ja, sogar fliegen?
biology homework.
You're despicable.
Some abilities may
Nur ein
be taught
weiterer
to you by
durch.
students who become your friends. As you develop
Nur ein
relationships
weiterer
with your
durch.
schoolmates, they can accompany you on your journey as your companions. And over time, you'll learn their stories.
This is our chance.
Natsai Onai is a brave adventurer driven by the justice she seeks. Poppy Sweeting has a kind heart and loves magical beasts, connecting with them more easily than with humans.
But what happens now?
Unafraid of detention or breaking the rules,
Sneaking in the restricted section again!
is Sebastian Sallow, a charismatic Slytherin.
We've been over this, boy. Hufflefigs cannot reverse a curse.
With a troubling family secret.
Nothing can. The sooner you accept that reality, the better.
You'll meet these students and more as you explore common rooms, hallways between classes, and regular gathering areas.
Welcome to the Room of Requirement.
One of the most remarkable secrets of Hogwarts is known as the Room of Requirement. You're introduced to this space that seems to
Ist das irgendwie so ein Live-Simulator oder sowas, Alter? Spielen ein ganzes Leben durch, oder was? Wo ist denn da die Story dabei?
The room provides space for you to sow and harvest plants, brew potions, and upgrade your
Mit
gear.
Zeitangabe?
A helpful house elf named Deke helps you discover vivariums that allow you to nurture your own
What the
menagerie
fuck?
of magical beasts.
What is it? Deke isn't sure. Only one way to find out.
You can freely customize this space to reflect your personality.
Eine eigene Welt? Hä?
Not everything you need on your journey is available at Hogwarts. You'll want to visit the nearby wizarding village of Hogsmeade.
Ist das irgendwie neues Skyrim oder sowas? Hä, was ist denn das für ein wildes Game, Alter? What the fuck? Harry Potter Skyrim?
Ingredients and recipes to seeds for magical
Ich
plants
von dem ist ja.
to all sorts of gear.
Ey, yo, Game of the Year. Holy shit.
But Hogsmeade also
Hog.
has its dangerous side. A band of dark witches and wizards in
Scheinbar mag das schon, das bisher.
of the times wander the village outskirts.
Wait.
You must avoid them or defeat them. As you explore, you'll find the world surrounding Hogwarts is alive with
Okay, das ist gleich noch, ja, scheinbar.
wonders and areas of unusual interest. As the school year progresses, dynamic seasons and climates will fill the sky with lightning or sunshine, or coat the ground with snow or rain. Unique wizarding hamlets pepper the countryside, each with vendors and residents who have stories to tell, and missions with which they could use your assistance.
Einfach Skyrim, Alter. What the fuck?
Puzzles that may very well have been designed by Merlin himself when he was a student at Hogwarts. Magical beasts roam the lands outside the castle walls. Some have been corrupted by a mysterious dark magic, while others are at risk of poachers and their traps. If you're feeling benevolent, you can rescue them and restore them to health in the Room of Requirement. But there are dangers beyond your understanding in the world as well. Dungeons and vaults hold perilous threats and also untold rewards. Be careful where you choose to explore, as it may lead you down a darker path.
What?
Master spells. Befriend new allies. Journey across a landscape never seen before. Uncover ancient secrets. Combat
Go in the dark
mystical
side.
threats. Learn long-forgotten mysteries. Become the witch or wizard you want to be as you leave your unique mark on the wizarding world. Here, in Hogwarts Legacy.
Da fehlt noch, fehlt einfach nur noch Fusrodar, Junge. Was? Holiday. Wait, Holiday ist Dezember, wa? November, Dezember, sowas?
That was your first extended look at Hogwarts Legacy. Now let's hear from the real wizards and witches behind the game.
Ah, behind the scenes. Die kommt da wirklich nur für PlayStation raus?
Attention to detail and the passion and the love for this brand that the team has is astonishing.
Our team is so excited to take all of the love that they put into this as fans and give it to fans.
This is the game that they've dreamed of for 20 years.
20 years.
The lore of the Wizarding world is already so rich, and all we had to do was harness those elements and build a game out of it.
The movies, the books, they all touched me in such a way. Like, it makes me want to go to experience Hogwarts. It makes me put in so much more detail into this game.
Dass du da eine kleine Welt hast, die du da gestalten kannst, ist auch schon wild.
Anything we play with, or anything that we explore, really feels authentic.
Bringing to life just the charm and the love, everything we have for the books, and then marrying that with the iconic experiences from the movies that fans will recognize is really just the perfect handshake between the two. Just the discovery of like seeing things portrayed for the first time. Maybe they've read something and had a picture in their head the whole time, but then finally to get to touch it, to walk around it.
You've got all these elements that can come together to create this amazing AAA open world action RPG.
When it comes to the open world, we just knew it wasn't going to be enough to just stare out of the windows of Hogwarts and wonder what it's like out there.
Mal, Moment, ich lasse mal kurz als Audio-Dings abspielen im Hintergrund. Mal kurz gucken.
The Forbidden Forest, what's going to be beyond Hogsmeade? What's beyond the Black Lake if I start traveling south? And we just felt like
Bitte lass auch für PC sein, nicht nur für PlayStation. Oh, das kommt wirklich für alle. Oh.
We're creating a real wide palette of opportunities and ways to
das kommt auch für PC raus.
You're going to see different stories that are really
Let's go.
To who you were in the world.
Super, it's nice.
Is an original story that takes place in the late 1800s.
You are a new student who is starting at the famed School of Witchcraft and Wizardry as a 5th year, which is very unusual. So already there's a bit of an edge and a bit of a mystery.
The original story that we tell in the game is your story of what you did, you know, in the Wizarding world that you haven't seen before.
Or make our own magic with our story.
Also gibt's keine richtige Story?
Wizarding world from, you know, the 1900s and on, really. But now with this world, we're able to sort of create a space that's their own.
Wie sehr die mit Dings zusammengearbeitet haben, ne? Hier ist nochmal die Autorin, scheiße.
For a long time, to say the least, and that Hogwarts itself is a stronghold of ancient magic. And the Avatar, the player, has the ability to sense it and possibly wield it or control it.
Our process of development started with rereading the books. And over development,
Aber gerade der mir der einzige scheint, der auch wirklich an einem Spiel interessiert ist. Wo er war. Wie findest du es bisher?
We would go into the films.
Being able to put our own spin on what this universe is was a pretty big deal. I helped design a piece that nobody has ever seen before, the Hufflepuff common room. You know, as a Hufflepuff, you always wondered, like, what is my common room supposed to look like?
It's close enough to the world that we know that fans will recognize certain names, they'll recognize spells, they'll recognize certain locations.
I recognize that doorway, I recognize that classroom.
But mostly, it's going to be an entirely new Wizarding world that no one's ever experienced.
When
people engage in the Wizarding world, what's the one anchor? Like, what's the thing that everyone comes back to? What's the thing that grounds it all and grounds all these characters and grounds all these figures? And for us, we really felt like that answer was Hogwarts itself. That school, that famous School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, is really what binds it all.
How to bring Hogwarts
Die Edge nicht, sondern sag mal einfach wen. Neujahr 91. Neujahr 91? Neujahr hat eine Informkarte?
And of course, again,
Ja, vollkommen neu.
It likes to keep its students on its toes. We've put so many little secrets and passageways and rooms in this castle.
We recreate those very important locations. And then there's these other places that are only mentioned in the books or just alluded to, and we have to make the connective tissue that brings all that together.
Adding a world that is a breathing, living world is very hard to do because it's all about the details. And as a concept team, we really
Ja, KDB war auch mein bester Pick, den ich bisher hatte.
And studied history, studied architecture.
I hope that when fans play the game, they get as lost in it as I do. I can just be reviewing a side mission, and all of a sudden I find myself wandering Hogwarts for like 45 minutes because it's so beautiful.
Es wurde schon einmal verschoben, ja. Ich bin ehrlich, gut, du warst da jetzt schon später zugestoßen. Ich weiß es nicht, Alter, ich kenne das. Ich kenne das Dings halt nicht. Warte mal. Das wird halt von Warner Brothers gemacht, wa? Avalanche, das haben die dann vorher gemacht. Disney Infinity. Das ist ein ganz anderes Game. Das ist fucking Cars 2. Krass. Ich sag mal so, das Spiel ist schon... Ja, siehst du ja gerade, wa? 30 weitere. Wir haben Disney-Spiele halt gemacht. Das Spiel ist, ja, Singleplayer. Ich habe auch bisher keine Dings gesehen. Scheint aber, ich bin ehrlich, so wie das jetzt aussah, es sieht einfach aus wie ein Skyrim. Das sieht aus wie ein Skyrim in Harry Potter-Style. Es sah bisher wirklich verdammt gut aus, muss man schon mal sagen. Muss man schon mal so sagen, aber die haben wirklich nur Dings gemacht, wirklich nur, hey, die haben Mortal Kombat gemacht? What? Prince of Persia? So wie es ist nicht, aber ich muss sagen, also von dem Trailer an sich bisher, was sind das für random Games, die gemacht haben? Auf einmal Dragon Ball Z? What? College Football? Das ist eine Serienmission. Es waren hier für verschiedene Genres. Nee, aber Hannah Montana. In der Art und Weise, wie Harry Potter ist und sowas, sah es ja ganz gut aus. Ich muss sagen, von dem Video her, das Brettgame, das habe ich auch schon mal irgendwo gesehen, von dem Video her, die Attacken, wie die gemacht haben, die sahen im ersten Moment im Trailer noch ein bisschen clunky aus. Sage ich so, wie es ist. Aber es sieht schon sehr aus, weil vor allem die ganzen Sachen, die du machen kannst, Alter. Du kannst da überall rumfliegen, du kannst dich ausgehen, du kannst Sidequests machen, du musst da irgendwie zur Schule gehen und irgendwie Spells und so eine Scheiße lernen. Du hast da irgendwie eine eigene Welt, wo du da irgendwie dein Haus gestalten kannst und sowas. Ist schon, also es sieht auf jeden Fall schon ziemlich fett aus.